Welcome back.
I'm glad to see you're still with us. How can I help you? I appreciate it. Well, that's it. This is all we need. Now all that's left is to quietly pack up and try to get out of here without being noticed. That's assuming that Joshua won't try to stop me. And that he hasn't talked you into fighting the Whitelegs despite what I've said. Don't worry, I don't hold it against you. You're an outsider. Fighting seems like the practical solution. I'll tell you again. There's more at stake. It may be. I hope it is. To tell the truth, if something goes wrong, more Sorrows could die in the escape than in Joshua's proposed attack. Even knowing that, it's a risk I have to take. With your help and Joshua's, even if we're attacked, we can defend the Sorrows and escape. We'll be traveling at night in small groups, across the valley. With luck, the Whitelegs won't know what's happened until the next morning. But if the Whitelegs realize what's happening, Joshua and I will need you to help us escape. Don't hold back. I promise you. The Whitelegs won't. Once our path is clear, I'll give you everything you need to get back to the Mojave. But the Pine Creek Tunnel must be collapsed behind us. It's the only way to delay the Whitelegs' pursuit long enough for us to get a head start. Good luck, and may God be with us.
Daniel must have made it to the tunnel by now. But there are Sorrows all over the valley. We have to help them and get Daniel out of here.
Right. Guano bueno purcatus.
Foolish, Outman. You best white legs you think. By my spear you die! You speak. I listen. Kill you. Maybe I not. Maybe. We leave, but always fight. White legs, we strong warriors for Caesar.
The time for talk is past. The Lord's work must be done.
Please, have you done everything you can for the Sorrows? Are they all accounted for? You let them die! They needed you! Why didn't you help them? Never mind, I don't have time for this. Take the map. Just take it and go.
And so it was that the conflict between the New Canaanites and the Whitelegs was finally resolved. The courier's involvement had tipped the scale, shifting the fragile balance of power.
After the White Legs drove the Sorrows from Zion, they celebrated by destroying all traces of the valley's former inhabitants. They appealed to the Legion for assimilation, but were denied. Their failure to eradicate the New Canaanites in Grand Staircase and farther up the Colorado had not gone unnoticed. The Whitelegs made a half-hearted effort to find the New Canaanites, but were driven off by dead horses trained in the ways of Joshua Graham. The Whitelegs lost all hope of joining the Legion and disintegrated into a number of petty raiding bands, leaving Zion Valley a polluted cistern.
Daniel evacuated the Sorrows from Zion, but due to the courier's neglect, the Whitelegs butchered many along the way. Those who survived barely reached Grand Staircase, but once there, the dead horses and New Canaanites helped them settle. The unfamiliarity of their new surroundings and the loss of loved ones evoked a terrible and lasting grief among the Sorrows. For 2 generations, many would die still lamenting the loss of Zion.
Having helped Daniel and the Sorrows escape from Zion, the dead horses returned to their home at Dead Horse Point. The tribe continued to learn from the New Canaanites, and over many years built a flourishing community along the banks of the Colorado. Though the tribe's bond would endure, it was Joshua Graham's legend the dead horses would revere, not the tenets of New Canaan's faith.
Already weakened by several seasons of bad trading, the Happy Trails Caravan Company was initially discouraged by the results of its expedition. The fate of New Canaan and the evacuation of the Sorrows from Zion made the prospect of trading seem fruitless. When Daniel told his family about the exploits of Happy Trails employee the Courier, however, New Canaan decided to repay the company's kindness. Twice per year, New Canaanites made the dangerous journey west to trade with a company in the city of New Reno. The Happy Trails Caravan Company could not survive on such trading alone, but the New Canaanites' generosity made tough times go easier.
Follows Chuck took the courier's words to heart and decided that he would behold the sights and sounds of distant lands with his own eyes and ears. After returning to Dead Horse Point, he quarreled with his family and other tribe members about his ambitions. One morning, they awoke to discover that Follows Chuck had set off alone, westward, into the wilderness. He was never seen again.
Waking Cloud turned bitter and resentful toward Daniel and the New Canaanites when she learned her husband's death had been concealed from her. She poisoned some of her tribe against New Canaanite teachings, making relations between the groups difficult from time to time.
After leading the Sorrows from their home in Zion to safety in Grand Staircase, Daniel continued to wonder if he'd made the right choice. He spent his life evangelizing the beliefs of his people to a new generation of young men and women, as his ancestors had for centuries before him. He was happy with his family, but for the rest of his life, there were nights when he awoke with sadness to find he had been dreaming of Zion.
And with that, the Courier walked out of the history of the tribes of Zion and back to the gathering storm of the Mojave Wasteland.
consciousness and made a full recovery. Now that's a delivery service you can count on. One more story for you. Merchants are saying that there's been little contact between traders from Nipton in recent days, causing concerns that the isolated town may be in trouble. Mojave, Mo problems. Am I right? Got a song for you now. It's about a guy who's cold on the exterior, but deep down, you know, he's a good man. And his name is Johnny Guitar.
Welcome back. Gonna get you anything?
Play the guitar, play it again, my Johnny. Maybe you're cold, but you're so warm inside. I was always a fool for my Johnny, for the one they call Johnny Guitar. Play it again, Johnny Guitar. What if you go? What if you stay? I love you. What if you're cruel? You can be kind. I know. There was never a man like my Johnny, like the one they call Johnny Guitar. There was never a man like my Johnny, like the one they call Johnny Guitar.
Is it time? I'm ready when you are.
Welcome back. Good to see you again. Thanks to you, Prim's on the way back up. With folks watching over us, I think the raiders will keep their distance.
Howdy, folks. It's Mr. New Vegas, and I have
Hey there,
a
youngster.
good feeling about all of you listening. We've got some news.
Sure,
for you
have a
coming
look.
Right up. The Helios 1 solar power plant remains dormant despite NCR's effort to reactivate the facility. The chief scientist at the plant vowed to fix the problem, blaming it on an atmosphere of, quote, severe underappreciation. In addition, traders from California are being turned away from Mojave Outpost, where the NCR is concerned about dangers along Nipton Highway and I-15. Those were our top stories. And now, I'd like to play one of my
Another satisfied customer.
This is how we do it in Freeside! Like that? Hey, you're the one who's been going around helping people around here, right? The king says to keep up the good work, and said to give you this.
Hey, man. Can you spare a few caps? Oh, yeah. I guess the Garrett sent you after me? Look, I've got the caps right here. Just don't hurt me. I won't. Thanks for not killing me.
If it can be bought, it can be found at Mick and Ralph's.
Hello. Lovely to meet you. I haven't the time to speak to commoners such as yourself. In that case, I suppose you're here to collect. I apologize, but I simply do not have enough caps on me to cover the debt. If someone were to recover my caravan from that cave, I could easily pay in full, but who would bother with such a mess? Damn. I didn't want to hand over all of my caps because I won't have enough to get home to California. Here, take it all. I'll find my way home one way or another.
Hello again. Yep.
Lasers, plasma, pistols, grenades. We've got it all at the Silver Rush.
Welcome back. What can I get you? I don't care how you handled those lumps of human refuse, but you got the job done. We need you to hunt down another person. That son of a bitch McCaffrey stole a ton of caps and ran off to Vegas. I guess the fact that we farmed out his usual work to you pissed him off. No one steals from the Garrett twins. If you can kill that bastard and bring back as much as you can, you'll be paid very well. Good. Just stop on back when he's dead and you'll be rewarded handsomely. Bring his hat as proof of the kill. Yep.
Welcome back, friend. What can I get you? Hey, that's great. We'll get some supplies sent over today as a show of good faith. Once our stills are upgraded, we'll never be short on liquor for our patrons. If Jacob Hoff is sober, we might even have a few new drinks on tap. Most might view us as drug-dealing enablers around here. But honestly, we care about our patrons. It's bad business for people to get addicted. We've got enough crime in Freeside without a bunch of strung-out junkies robbing traders and gamblers to afford their next fix. With Jacob Hoff sobered up, there are new drinks on the menu and sales are strong. People love the new absinthe and rum and nuka. House may have boxed us out of the Strip, but we also don't have to deal with their bullshit. I think now that the followers are working with us, we'll be able to shape up Freeside a bit more. Another satisfied customer.
Howdy.
Make a brief stop at the Atomic Wrangler, where the booze is cheap. We've got stuff we're not even allowed to sell, people. Only at Mick and Ralph's.
Welcome. Rex? It breaks my heart every time I see him. He's such a good dog. Yes, a few months ago. We had to tell him there was nothing we could do. No, Rex's condition is way beyond anything we can handle. He requires brain surgery and some sophisticated cybernetics work, too. There's an old scientist named Dr. Henry who reportedly specializes in this sort of procedure. He'd probably be your best bet. Last I heard, he was living up in Jacobstown, far to the northwest. No problem. Sure. You'll need to wait I'm honestly pleasantly surprised they would help us out. But I can see the Garretts aren't doing this out of the goodness of their hearts. Well, it looks like you've earned yourself a discount on supplies now that we'll be fully covered. This supply deal will aid our work immensely. Here is what we have available.
If it can be bought, it can be found at Mick and Ralph's.
I've got my eye on you. You crossed.
What can the king do for you? She said, what? Why didn't she just say so when I was there? Actually, come to think of it, I was pretty angry when I went down there. I vaguely recall something about upending a few tables, maybe knocking out one of her doctors. Anyway, that's incredible news. Only thing is, there's too much going on around here for me to make a trip like that. And I need all of my guys just to keep things settled here. You seem to be awfully interested in my boy Rex here, and you've done some good work for me already. I'll tell you what, you promised to get Rexy here to that doctor, and I'll lend him to you. What do you say? I can't thank you enough. Now, there's a few things you should know about old Rex here if you're going to be traveling together. First, he hates rats. Can't stand the things. Giant rats, mole rats, doesn't matter. He catches a whiff of one, and he's off like a shot after him. He's normally pretty obedient, but you might have to chase him some if he goes after one of the little varmints. Second, he doesn't like hats, or the people wearing them. Don't ask. I have no idea why. Maybe because it rhymes with rats. That should be it, though. Other than the occasional bad spot when his brain starts hurting him, that is. But I'm hoping you will see to that. I wish you both luck. Take care of my Rex now, you hear? Rex, this is your new master. Protect her as you would me.
Personal space meaning anything to you? Lady? Fucking expensive to get into the strip these days. Hey there. Here's the rest of the payment I promised you back in Goodsprings. I'm getting ready to run a caravan up towards Utah. There's a town called New Canaan, which is supposed to be pretty prosperous. The Crimson Caravan doesn't have any branches out that way, so it'll be up to me to get things started. Alice McLafferty runs the Crimson Caravan. You can find her over in the main office. I'll see you around.
McLafferty's a hard boss, but she knows what she's doing, that's for sure.
Welcome to the Crimson Caravan Company New Vegas branch. What may I do for you? Certainly. What would you like to know? The Crimson Caravan Company has been in business for over 130 years. We're partially responsible for the progress in the NCR. Well, the gunrunners continue to dominate the weapons market, and the Mormon traders from New Canaan control the majority of the northern routes. Normally, I oversee company operations at the hub in California. However, the New Vegas branch has been underperforming in recent years. Given the conditions here, it's not hard to see why. I'll change all that soon enough. All right. I'm afraid we have no current openings for caravanners or guards, but I am in need of a runner. Deliver this invoice to Dr. Hildern. You can find him somewhere inside Camp McCarran. It's been a pleasure.
Hey there, friend.
I don't handle buying and selling for the Gunrunners. Talk to the robot in the kiosk near our factory. For around 5 years now, I handle the supply end of things, raw materials and stuff. Makers of the finest high-grade weapons and ammunition in the wasteland. If you ever get your hands on a piece of sweet, deadly hardware, there's a good chance that it came from one of our factories. None whatsoever. Everything inside the fence is off limits, and the guards have strict orders to shoot to kill. A lot of our high-end weaponry comes from pre-war military schematics. If our competition got a hold of them, it'd be bad for business. Out here, we don't have bosses. Me, the gunsmiths, and the guards all know what we're supposed to be doing. Working for the Gunrunners is a sweet job. None of us would dare screw it up.
Welcome, sir or madam. Do you wish to purchase something? This is the New Vegas branch of the Gunrunners, supplying the wasteland with only the finest armaments since 2155. All Gunrunner merchandise is constructed on site. This kiosk was specially constructed around me to deter theft and assault. I am ready to process our transaction. see us again soon.